I'm Shaela Hunziker. I'm a freshman at Ames High. Before I came to Christ, I struggled a lot with depression. For 4 years of that, I was coping with it by cutting myself. The summer I turned 13, I started drinking and smoking cigarettes with my friends. I kept seeing therapists, but I lied to them and told them I was fine. I started cutting deeper and more often, and suicide was constantly on my mind. I felt like no one would care if I lived or died. I was hospitalized twice with suicidal thoughts and actions. That was the moment I knew that I needed to make a change in my life because I wasn't doing something right. I'd been coming to Cornerstone for a while with one of my friends, and I really liked the people here and how it was run. That's what made me decide to choose Christ. Soon after, I was struggling with my newfound faith because I was living with people who did drugs and drank on a daily basis. Then I went to Rosewood, South Dakota. Seeing the amazing way God works in people's lives really motivated me to not give up on my newfound faith. This fall, I started going to a Roll and Story small group led by Nicole and Janine. Nicole was a huge impact on my life because she helped lead me down the right path as to who I want to be. I'm able to trust that God is leading me where He wants me to be, even when it might not be where I intended to go. I'm able to make better choices as to who I'm friends with, and I know that God will help lead me through my struggles.
My name is Brooke Mackey, and I'm a sophomore at Nevada High School. When I was 7 years old, my life completely changed. On March 1st, 2005, my mom and I were watching TV, and my brother wanted to watch it with us, but my mom told him that he had to go into his room and finish his homework. So he gave her a kiss and said, "I love you, Mom," and went into his room. And my mom told me to go check on him a little bit later, and I said, okay. So I walked down the hall, and I opened the door, and I saw him hanging there with his white karate belt around his neck, hanging from the top of his closet. We don't think that he committed suicide because he had a bad family life, because we didn't, but it was because he was on medicine that wasn't for kids under 18, but the doctor never told us that. Jake was my absolute best friend. We did everything together, and then he was just ripped away from me, and I didn't understand why. I was never angry with God. I just didn't know why a 12-year-old boy had to die, and I didn't understand. The last couple of years, I've gone to different churches and different youth groups, and I would always pray and I would go because I thought it was what you're supposed to do. It was kind of just going through the motions, but I never felt myself connecting with God. And then I met Kayla Hennick, and she told me about Escape and about Cornerstone and said, "Hey, you should come with." And I was like, yeah, my friends go there, but they've always asked me to go, and I just never did. And she ended up convincing me to go, and I went, and I fell in love. I absolutely loved it. The weekend of the fall retreat, I really felt myself connecting with God, and then on that Sunday, I listened to Paul Sabino's message, and I just completely gave my life to God, and all the questions that I had had ever since I was 7 years old that had been gnawing at me about God and Jake and everything, I just felt like all those questions had been answered, and it just felt awesome. Now I just feel so much happier, and I'm more brave and outgoing knowing that I have God in my life, and I just want to share my story with other people so that they can feel just as awesome as I do.